We are alive. Why am I kind of blurry there? All right, bam, boom. Are we ready? Are we good? I feel like it's still kind of blurry. One sec. Ah, that's better. Okay, cool. What's up, guys? Shannon Sharp. Here's the thing. Black men have been getting into trouble recently. In the last maybe 500 years. Yeah, black men have been getting into trouble with dating white women. And we can ignore the issue, but I have thoughts on this issue, and this is what I want to talk about with you guys because I feel that as a black man, it is very pertinent for me to come on and give you my perspective on this. Obviously, as someone who travels a lot, I see women all over the world. And so, like, even right now, I can by the pool and you can see the women over there and they're tanning, right? And so, it's not uncommon for me to see white women, Latina women, Filipino women, or just generally Asian women, women from all over the world. And one of the things that you find, one, let me just say this just to begin the conversation. I'm very respectful of all women, of all shapes and sizes, of all races, etc. With that being said, I'm going to give you the perspective of me being a black man. Historically, right, this is going to be a very real talk. Historically, black men have gotten in trouble severely for dating white women, for having any type of relationships with white women. The same has not been true for any other race. But black men in America who have relations with white women get into trouble over and over and over again. So then you see all of these rich black men. They have these TV shows, these new deals, these athletes. They sign to the NFL for the first time, the NBA for the first time. All these athletes, right? They just got into money. $100 million, $50 million, $200 million. Tiger Woods, same thing, right? Shannon Sharpe, same thing. Jonathan Majors. Um, you you see so many, so many men. As soon as they get some money, they take it, bring it to a white woman, and then when they get divorced, the white woman gets half. But let's talk about Shannon Sharpe specifically. One, I will say this unequivocally: what he did was legal, but morally indefensible. As a 56-year-old man, you should not be dating someone who's 19. It is legal, but morally indefensible. The last time, I will tell you my personal experience, the last time I went out with somebody who was less than 21 years old, I was maybe 24, right? So I went out with someone who was 19 or 20 when I was 24. And I remember that date and I was thinking, this is the last time I'm doing this because you are at even that little age gap, right? 4 or 5 years. I don't think if you're past 22, you should be dating someone who is 19. Honestly, because when I was on that date, there was nothing that we could talk about. Absolutely nothing. I'm talking about life and traveling and bills and cars, and they're still in school. Their mindset hasn't even been fully developed yet. This is a child. And so then I left that thinking I would never, ever do that again. So then now I'm thinking, so that's me at 23, 24 years old. If you are 56 years old, 56 years old, what on earth could you have in common with someone who is 19? What on earth could you have in common with someone who is 19? Shannon Sharp. You're telling me you worth millions of dollars. You can't find someone who's 26, 36 that has, the same appeal that you're looking for, the same body type, the same complexion. You can't find someone who's a little bit older. 19, morally indefensible. Legal, but morally indefensible. Do I think he should go to jail for having relations with someone who's 19? No. No, if he SA'd her, yes. But is it legal? Yes. Morally indefensible? No, Shannon Sharp. That's you. You don't have my respect. Though. You lost every sort of respect when you did that. That's the first thing. The second thing, talking about Shannon Sharp, my problem is seeing so many black men, and you see it's a trend. And so many black men, once they get money, they go for a white woman who they would not have qualified for. Not saying that this is only Shannon Sharp, but they would not have qualified for these women if they did not have money. The reverse is not true. Think about what I'm saying. And I'm being very frank because we talking here because I want people to hear me. Black men do this over and over and over again. You get money, you get successful, and then you get white women that you would not have qualified for if you did not have money. Because white women are taught in the home to go for good men. This independent, don't need a man narrative, that's not preached in white communities. To get with an upstanding, middle class, come from a good family, two-parent household, well-educated white woman, that white woman has high standards. And so then you only qualify when you have money. And she's only talking to you because you have money. If you were just some small Joe, you would not get her. And black men do this over and over and over again. The reverse is not true. The reverse is not true. To my knowledge, there is no successful black woman who is now going for a regular white small Joe. No, a successful black woman is not going for a regular, nobody, no fame, no nothing. Yeah, no, they do not do that. Black women are still dating impressive men, regardless of the race. But black men don't do that. I have a problem with that because what you will see is that what black women do is that they get money and then they'll go out and they'll date the CEO of this company, right? I don't need your money. So then if you're coming in, I'm a black woman, I got my own money, I'm going to date the CEO of this company, this entrepreneur, this lawyer, this judge, this manager, right? Some type of successful accolade. Why aren't black men having that same standard? Talk to me. Why are black men getting all of this money and then going for someone that's not at their level? They're not famous. Like Shannon Sharp, he's going for someone who's not famous, a 19-year-old OnlyFans model who is asking for $10,000, right? $10,000, a lot of money to her. He's going for someone who would not have dated him if he was not Shannon Sharp. That men have to be smarter than this. And then you will be punished. You see, this is the thing. You're going to be punished if something happens. Actually, here's what happened. Because if you read the text messages, what's actually happening to Shannon Sharp is that if you're going to date someone who's younger, right? Because successful men do this, right? They have money, and so then they have multiple partners. I'm not saying I'm condoning, I'm just saying that's what happens. Okay. So that we can talk about what happens. And then what you see is that you need to keep these partners happy. He wasn't doing that. Financially, you have to keep their pockets greased. He wasn't doing that. So then when things start to fall apart, he wasn't, you either obviously have to provide some type of financial stability, or the commensurate part of that is to have a child by them so that they know that they're locked in at least for the next 2 decades or more for life so that they're taken care of. If you're not doing that, Shannon Sharp, then you don't have a claim to say, hey, uh, to push one side or to say, I don't think this is working out for me. You made this unspoken agreement with this young woman that you're going to take care of her because you are Shannon Sharp. You're not nobody. And you have to think, what is your part in this equation? Then you're talking to her like, oh, you can just get rid of. You are a national celebrity, arguably the king right now. of Black podcasts. And you're acting like you're just some manager at Walmart that can say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this right now. Come on, Shannon Sharp. You cannot be that naive. You cannot be that naive. And Monique warned you about this. Date someone who is your age. Date someone who is your age and can, you know, go get a massage with you and have some food and you guys can chill and read books. But no, you insist on doing this garbage, acting like you're 30 or in your 20s again when you're actually 56. My issue is with black men because black men know the history of America. We do. People are watching me talk to you guys. Like I said, I'm live, I'm by the pool. But this is a very real conversation. Black men know the history in America. You know Emmett Till. This is the commensurate story of black men in America. Emmett Till was murdered for a woman who lied, a white woman who lied that Emmett Till flirted with her. And on her deathbed, she said that she lied. And Emmett Till was lynched. Black man. Knowing that, this is the history of America. Why would you put yourself in a position as a black man in America to be the one thing that can take down a black man who is really on his way up is SA charges? Do you not see the repeated instances over and over and over again? The same is not true for white men. You're not playing the same game. So then, why are you surprised when the charges are brought against you? Why are you surprised that this is the game that you're playing in? This is America. It's so weird to me that it's okay. Here's the thing, the mark of intelligence, right? This is how you know someone is pretty smart. The mark of intelligence is how long it takes someone to change their behavior given the same circumstances. So if I touch this stove and it burns me and I stop touching it anymore, then I'm pretty smart. If I have to touch it 5 more times, that makes me less smart. So then, as a black man, you are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 25, 100, 150 black men being brought down from their trajectory to the highest heights of America by white women. How many times are you going to have to see that for you to be like, no, I'm not talking to any white women? I get rich, there's something going on here. I'm stepping aside. How many times does that have to happen for you to say to yourself, I need to be more careful? I'm not saying that you can't talk to white women. I would never say that. I'm not as extreme as Dr. Umar. But how many times do you have to go through the same thing and see the same dangers for you to say, this is how I can see my downfall and I need to be more mindful? Cat William came on and said to Shannon Sharp, to his face, the one thing that scares me is white women. You don't date white women because he's scared. And look at Cat, Cat Williams has been riding his success wave for the past decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades, 5 decades, untouched. You've never seen him in the national spotlight like you see these guys. Then again, I asked you, black men, what are we doing? Again, I asked you, black men, what are we doing? Why are we continuously making the same mistake? Doesn't make sense. And then what happens now is that when she wins that case, which she will, or they will settle, she's going to get millions of dollars out of Shannon Sharp's money. That money could have gone to the black community. He could have given it away. He could have built a center with that. He could have refurbished a neighborhood. He could have done real estate deals with millions of dollars he's about to lose to this white woman. So then he went out, became an expert in football, became one of the best football players, then became one of the best podcasters in the world, right? Became one of the best talk show hosts in the world. only for him to take all of these millions of dollars and give it to someone who hasn't even graduated college yet, and she's white. Yet now you're going to take, as a black man, you're going to take all of this success and set her family up. Why would you do that? I ask, why would you do that, black man? Because she's going to take that money, and what she's going to do? She's going to start the business. She's going to get into real estate, and she's going to make her family wealthier. Why do you wait until this happens to say, okay, maybe I can do more with the millions of dollars I earn? Why do we keep making these mistakes? Do you understand what I'm saying right now? We keep making the same errors. He's about to lose. So if he doesn't get that $100 million deal from uh who was that from? I think it was ESPN or whoever he has the $100 million deal from right now. If he does not get that $100 million deal and he's being sued for 50, let's say they settle for 10 $10 million. Just imagine if he had just given $10 million away and say, you know what? I'm gonna use $10 million as a down payment on a center in Atlanta to teach people how to trade stocks, teach people how to own their own podcast, how to buy their own businesses. That's what I'm going to use $10 million for. Shannon Sharp could have did that, but instead, it's going to go to her. It's going to go to her lawyers. It's going to go to her family. It's going to go to her kids, her friends. How much of that money is going to come to the black community that Shannon Sharp so arguably represent? I mean, look at Shannon Sharp's guest. Look at all of Shannon Sharp's guests. What percentage of all of those people have been black? Most of them. So then, if he's representing that community, why are you taking all of this money that you earned and just giving it away? Shannon Sharp is not the only person, but I'm talking about the phenomenon that I keep seeing. You have to be smarter than this. This is why I'm coming on to talk about this, because I keep seeing the same thing, and it really is annoying. It really is annoying. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing because I think we can do better. I think black men can do better. I think black men need to understand how powerful they are and how much you are cherished. Here's the thing I see. So right now I'm in Suriname. I'll give you I'll get back to Shannon Sharp, but I'll give you a parallel. Right now I'm in Suriname. There are so many people from the Netherlands here. And I think a large part of the economy depends on people coming from Netherlands and spending their euros and US dollars here. Okay. But then what ends up happening is that the black men who are here, they're not really looked on in the same way as people from Netherlands. It's more of a fetish. And there's so many men, so many black men who don't understand the difference between being fetishized and being loved or liked or appreciated. Affection and fetishization are not the same. And one of the things I have become so keen on, especially traveling in South America, that you can imagine, Latinos love black men, but most of them, they don't like me. They like any black man, which is very different from liking this black man. So then, Shannon, would you not see that? This is my, this is me bringing it back to Shannon Sharp. Shannon, could you not see that any from the moment that she said to you, Shannon Sharp, in text message, I want you to put this big black baby in me. She said that in text message. Could you not see that you are now a fetish and you are no longer, come on now, you guys don't understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna repeat it. Could you not see that she's no longer talking about you, Shannon Sharp? She is talking about any black man, any rich black man would do. Because what would someone say if they want to have your baby? If she wants you, what would they say to you? Put your baby in me? Or would they say, I want to have your baby so bad? Which one sounds more like someone who likes you? You see, here's the thing, money doesn't buy common sense and brains and the ability to think outside of, you know, like your horniness. maybe I guess she was willing to do things for him that maybe drove him sexually crazy. Clearly, he was not thinking right, but maybe that's what happened to him. But could you not see, Shannon Sharp? You've been to the NFL. It's not the first time you've dealt with this. You've been rich for a very long time. You've been privileged for a very long time. Could you not see that this woman didn't like you? She just had an idea of who you might be, and she liked that idea. You see, I'm speaking too much truth right now. So, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna put this up. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put this public. But hold on, you got to be smarter than that. Shannon Sharp, you have to be smarter than that. And this goes for black men across the board. If you're watching this, and I want you to share this with somebody, send a replay of this to somebody or save this video because the message is true, true, and true, and true, and true again. Because as soon as black men get some money, this is the mistake that they keep making. And they think that all of this attention, and once they have this fame and money, all of the attention that they get is because now they're somebody. No, you were somebody before you got the money. Hear me, please. You were somebody before you got the money. And there's people out there who like you and love you before you got the money and fame. Date those people. Don't date and don't befriend the people who would only like you because you have money and fame. It is the common rule. Well, once you start having all this money, you forget it. It's like the rule of investing: buy low, sell high. But then what happens when the market crashes? Everybody wants to sell. But we forget common sense once things start happening in the moment. It's the common rule. Date, befriend people who would fuck with you when you did not have anything. It is the common rule. Do not forget that rule. All right. I'm gonna get to the pool. I can show you this pool one more time. I'm gonna have a good time. So and then I'm gonna get my lunch. But make sure that you guys subscribe. I'll see you guys on Monday. Today's what, Friday? I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, peace.